Hello and welcome back to Cosplay Made Simple. I'm Justin and today I'm going to be taking a look at Deadpool and Wolverine and why I think it really didn't work for me and why I'm worried about the MCU based on this movie and the last couple of MCU movies. So, first I'm going to take a look at my prediction video. So I'm going to react to myself a little bit and now that I've seen the movie a couple of times, once in IMAX, I'll be able to rate those predictions. The first time I saw the movie, it was on my birthday. I had a even though I wasn't happy with kind of like the writing and the way the movie was structured, I was just so happy to be with all my friends, and it was just a really joyful evening for me. Okay, so I have the video pulled up here, and I will say spoiler warning because I'll be not in at this point. I haven't seen it yet, but as I rate which of my predictions were correct or incorrect, I'll be spoiling and then going on. I'll be doing a full spoiler review. So, big spoiler warning. Click off the video if you don't want spoilers. Hey guys, so I'm on my way to see Deadpool and Wolverine. This is Charlie.
Hey.
And so I'm gonna tell you guys my predictions, and then after I watch it, I'll come back and film more, and we'll figure out if I was right or wrong. So prediction one, I think there's going to be way too many cameos. It's just going to take away from the storylines and the main characters. Like they're just going to stuff it way too much with cameos. Secondly, I think they're okay. So that's number one, too many cameos. And I think I was right, exactly correct. I give myself full point for this one.
Correctamundo!
And that's ultimately why I don't like the movie, is because I thought there wasn't enough focus on Deadpool and Wolverine and their arcs and their storylines, that it was just so many cameos, and most of them didn't really need to be there. Most of them serve no purpose, and they could easily be swapped out for Deadpool or Wolverine doing what they're doing, and it wouldn't really change things. And so I think it detracted way too much from Deadpool's story and Wolverine's story, and I think it ultimately pretty much ruined the movie. And so I give myself full points for that prediction. So I've got three, I think, in here. So I'll let's see if the second one was correct. Way too much with cameos. Secondly, I think they're hiding a big twist 40 minutes into the movie. So with all of the trailers, they only showed you footage that was in the first 40 minutes of the movie, which means I think they're hiding something big at about the 40-minute mark, such as Mr. Paradox could be the main villain. There could be some other villain that we don't know about. And thirdly, okay, so on that one, I think I completely missed. I mean, I was right about Mr. Paradox being a main villain, but the main portion of that prediction was wrong. So there was, so there was a twist 40 minutes into the movie. I believe, to my estimation, they get sent to the Void Planet after the first 40 minutes, and so I think that's um, but that was in the trailers, and so I wouldn't really consider that like a surprise twist. The what I was predicting was that it's going to be some twist that we don't know about in the trailers. We already knew that they were going to the Void Planet. Eliath was in the trailer. The Void Planet was on the trailer, and so for this one, I give myself a complete miss. So let's see if I can pull pull 2 out of 3 here. Let's see. And thirdly, I think it's going to lean very hard into Loki. Like, I think Loki will be in it. If not, he'll be very extensively referenced. Same thing, Mobius, I think he'll be in it. I think it's going to be very much tying into the Loki series, which is fine as long as they don't require you to have seen Loki first. Because yeah, Charlie, what's your prediction?
I predict.
Okay, so to that third prediction, I'll give myself half a point. So I'll say 1.5 out of 3. So I think I got about half right. And the reason why I give myself half a prediction is because neither Loki or Mobius were actually in the movie, but which I found a little bit strange. But given how many other people were in the movie, but there was name dropping of Loki. There was Hunter B-15. There was Eliath. So there were two characters appeared who originated from Loki, and the TVA, which we knew from the trailers, was a big part of it. And even though they weren't in the movie, I was right about the Easter eggs and the focus on things created in Loki. So I'll give myself half a point. Let's see what Charlie's prediction
Wolverine
is.
and Deadpool are both going to be in it. Are you impressed?
Yeah, all right, we'll see. All right, so yeah, Charlie's prediction 100%. So Charlie gets 100% correct prediction. I get 50%, which is not bad. So now we'll kind of talk about what I touched on it briefly, but why this movie just didn't work for me and why I'm a little bit scared about the MCU. Okay, so obviously I wasn't happy with this movie, and it seems like most people were, and so I feel like they'll continue to make movies like this, which worries me. But getting into why I didn't like it, so there are a lot of cameos, as I said, and most of them don't really serve the plot, don't really need to be there. So, for example, Blade, Elektra, even though they're both cool characters, who maybe not all these people got complete endings or the movies they deserved, but Deadpool and Wolverine, a movie called Deadpool and Wolverine, is not the place to fix that. The place to fix that would be in a sequel movie or anything else that Marvel releases for those characters. So Elektra definitely didn't need to be there. Blade is cool as hell, but he didn't need to be there. Gambit also pretty cool, but doesn't need to be there. X-23 does need to be there. She does convince Wolverine to step up and be more of a hero, which I appreciate. So I'll give them X-23. Johnny Storm, Chris Evans, he needs to be there to show what Cassandra Nova's powers are. So I'll give them that. He had a reason for being there. A lot of those other villains who were just Cassandra Nova's hench people, basically, like none of them really served any purpose. It makes sense for a lot of those Wolverine variants to be there because he's trying to find the right one, and so it makes sense to go through a bunch of wrong ones. However, I will say that it's a little bit ableist to make Hugh Jackman shorter with CGI. Like they should have just cast Peter Dinklage. I don't really believe in making people shorter or taller with CGI. I believe in just casting actors that are that height. The Deadpool core also doesn't add anything to the story and wouldn't make a single difference if you had cut that out. In addition to having too many characters, it's just got too many storylines going on, and it's got too many settings, and they're just doing too much. It's just way too much. Like I just wanted them to pick like one or two of those storylines and just really focus in on that one and give them a lot more attention. So the TVA, a guy at the TVA sort of not following their new protocols, like that's super interesting, but that didn't get enough attention. Deadpool and Wolverine being stuck on the Void Planet and having to survive, like that's super interesting, but didn't get enough attention. Deadpool going into the MCU, trying and failing to be an Avenger, that was a cool storyline, didn't get enough attention. So you have all these, so many, just way too many things going on. I just wanted them to pick one or two of them and just give it the attention that it needs and deserves. And I just didn't get that from this. I just got just a way overstuffing of the story. Hey, I'm pausing the video to ask you to subscribe. I have a somewhat ambitious goal of monetizing this channel in the next 5 years, and the first step towards doing that is 500 subscribers. I post new videos every week, including cosplay tutorials, reviews, and vlogs. It genuinely fills me with joy every time a new person subscribes. So if you're ready to join a community of cosplay lovers and fiction lovers, and you want to give me a ping of dopamine, then don't delay. Subscribe today. So even though I really didn't like it overall, there are a couple things that I thought were well done. So firstly, Mr. Paradox has a really good motivation, and I like the idea that he's sort of like almost the way that we stereotype boomers as being like we've always done it this way, like we've always pruned timelines, therefore we shouldn't just stop because we're presenting new evidence. So I really do like that, but unfortunately there's just not enough of that. And then the even though the Deadpool core didn't need to be in the movie, didn't add anything to the story, I think that action scene was very good. It was like something that we see in Daredevil. Daredevil sort of ruined action movies and shows for me, where now if now I want everything to be edited in that like one take continuous shot style when it comes to action. So the Deadpool core scene definitely did deliver that. The other ones didn't, but I will give them credit for at least doing one of the scenes. And finally, I think the way they handled Wolverine was really good. They did it in a way that didn't trample on Logan, which I really liked. Number one, because they didn't straight up resurrect him, but it still could have gone badly if they had characterized him in the same way as the main X-Men movie universe Wolverine. I think the different, like the darker Wolverine, or the Wolverine that's like a little bit less heroic, I think is or meaner than the main Wolverine, I think was a way to characterize it that didn't trample on Logan, that still you can go back and watch Logan after seeing this movie and still feel the same emotions that you did the first time. So now I'll kind of give you my rewrite of the movie. So if I had been writing it, I'm not a professional writer, but hypothetically, if I were writing it or if I were consulting on it, how would I have structured the movie? So, and I'm not gonna do a complete rewrite. I'm gonna sort of try to make it as close to what they were going for as possible, and just have the execution be much better. So, if you followed the marketing for this movie, you'll know that it was marketed as a movie about friendship.
And he's worked with Ryan and Hugh. They have a strong friendship, and they've all worked with each other before.
The friendship, the bond is really at the heart of this movie.
It eventually evolves into a movie about friendship. And it really was a movie made by friends about friends.
Now, you two are best friends in real life, which is amazing. Did you learn anything else about your friendship while making this movie?
I mean, it's your best friend, and you.
But it's really about friendship, ultimately. And I think, obviously, our friendship informed that.
One of the most healthy friendships you'll ever see in history.
Now, the big theme here, I feel, is friendship. Like, Ryan and Hugh are best friends in real life.
So, we've been friends forever.
Feels like there are themes of friendship in this movie. Friendship.
The friendship.
Friendship. Friends.
Best friends in friendship.
Best friend.
Friendship. Our friendship.
Friendships.
It's friendship. Our best friends in
Friendship.
And a movie about how being open to having connections, and that connections can really help you. Like that's a steel manning of what the movie was about and what they said it was about. So I'm going to try to work within that and try to give a better version of what the movie should have looked like. So firstly, maybe we start with like the birthday party scene that we got, and then maybe we get that scene of him digging up Wolverine's body and killing all those the TVA agents. Then maybe one of the TVA agents calls for backup as he's getting killed. And then Loki, God of Stories, comes in and captures him, brings him to the TVA to talk to Mr. Paradox. And Mr. Paradox presents him with the similar plan where they're gonna and you know, in exchange for this, offers him what he really wants, like a spot on the Avengers in the Sacred Timeline. But then he soon discovers that this is going to mean the Fox universe getting pruned. That the changes needed to make him an Avenger is going to result in the pruning of the Fox universe. So he steals a temp pad, looks for a version of Wolverine. He knows he can't do this himself. He knows he can't take down the Mr. Paradox himself. Maybe you have Cassandra Nova working for Mr. Paradox, and because Mr. Paradox doesn't have any powers, and so Deadpool could just kill him easily. But if Cassandra Nova's working for him, then that presents like a real threat for Deadpool. And so we go through all the Wolverine variants. You switch out short CGI Hugh Jackman for Peter Dinklage, and then eventually we get to the Wolverine that we see that's the main version for this movie, and they go after Mr. Paradox and Cassandra Nova, but they're not really coordinated. They fight a lot while planning. That like Honda Odyssey scene where they're fighting in the car, you could have a scene like that before they go after them the first time, and they lose really, really horribly. They get sent to the void, and then they learn to be friends, and they make their way back to the TVA, and they're now friends, and they're well coordinated, and they're able to defeat the villains, save the Fox universe. And I think that provides, and they wouldn't be on the Void planet for that long, and you wouldn't have a ton of cameos while on the Void planet. They would just sort of be there surviving together, just the two of them, and learning to be friends. So I think that's much more focused, much clearer focus for what the film should have been. And I know it's very basic and I didn't cover everything, but that's the way I'd like to have seen the movie play out. And so looking ahead to the next slew of Marvel movies and shows, I think I'm just really worried that they're going to keep doing this. Like they're just going to keep giving us way too many characters, way too many plot lines. And I think it's not going to be like some of those early Marvel movies where it was more focused, and I like those better. And so I'm really just not thrilled for the MCU and where it's going based on what I saw in this movie. But we'll have to wait and see. It's possible that other directors might have different ideas, or other writers might not overstuff everything this much. So we'll have to see. But at the end of the day, they are all beholden to Kevin Feige, and that's where I think a lot of the issues with Marvel projects stem from, is just Kevin Feige has his hands, like Cassandra Nova, way into everything.
I'll do it. I'll show up. What do I have to do?
I don't know.
I'll do whatever I have to do.
We all have to do whatever Kevin Feige says.
Thing.
And I think that really brings down the quality where, for example, they're not able to get as good directors as they might have if Kevin Feige wasn't so involved and let directors and writers kind of make their own thing. So, for example, like the first Ant-Man movie was supposed to be directed by Edgar Wright, but Kevin Feige changed way too much of what he wrote for it, and so that ultimately made him leave the project. Same thing happened for Eternals. I don't remember the name of who was supposed to direct the first Eternals, or the Eternals movie, but same thing happened. Kevin Feige and executives mandated that they use like preset action scenes where they start the fight choreography before the script's finished, and then often that creates the issue of it didn't really fit, and so that original director for Eternals left the project for that reason. And so that is really what needs to change, I think, if the MCU is to get better, is that it just needs to give creators more creative control. Let them put their creative stamp, as they call it, on each project. And you still have a Kevin Feige figure to kind of figure out the continuity and figure out how everything fits and what they're building to, and the post-credit scenes and all that. But you have a huge focus on letting creative make what they want to make and give them creative control. So I think that's what Marvel needs to do going forward. So let me know, did you like Deadpool and Wolverine, or did you not like it as I did? Why or not? Let me know all of that. And subscribe if you're new and you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.